This is My Frontier opening bell this Thursday, the 5th of May. Welcome everyone to the show. I am Bosun Omofaye, and this is how some of the markets across the continent closed on Wednesday, the first start of the week in Lagos, Nigeria, where the NGX crossed the 50,000 mark on the back of big gains from agro-allied industry names such as Okumu Oil and Presco, and industrial giants, Nigerian breweries, and Boa Cement. So the consumer goods and industrial goods index lifted the market roughly 5% between those two indices. The banking sector and insurance, however, fell a bit of a sell down on some of those big names. That's the story for the Nigerian bourse, the first trading day of the week. That's the briefing. Then you've got a BRVM softened by 0.31%. The Egyptian market roared by 3.07%. After the long holiday, then you've got the Nairobi bourse still skittish, down by roughly 60 basis points, and the GSE down by 1.33% just before that big announcement by the US Fed raising interest rate 50 basis points, the biggest single hike by the US Fed since the year 2000, some 22 years ago. That's the big story in the markets yesterday. Wall Street loved the news from Jerome Powell that there will be no single 0.75% uptick in interest rate anytime soon. So the market took a bit of a breather and all the major indices went up on Wall Street. That's our Broad Street here. Let's get on into the news, by the way. Looking at the East African market, the CMA, which is the Capital Market Authority, is tightening the rules around Citing's cash-raising model. The Citing Investments has been having a rough time with the market regulators in Kenya over time because a number of investors says they're not paid into those mutual funds and managed funds and all of that. So Citing Investment is now getting into the front desk of the CMA. The rules are now tightening around how this particular investment manager, asset manager, raise funds within the Kenyan market and try to tighten the rules to ensure that it's a fair play and that investors do get their money. The NCBA, which is the banking services group, posted for the first quarter 3.4 billion in net profits. That's a growth of 20.3%. Part of the earnings we're getting within the week. Crown Paints, also listed on the KNSE, also reported increased sales, and the numbers finished very nicely also for the first quarter. That's a profit increasing to 73 million local currency. Maltese companies from the island of Malta are looking for investments in Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa, the biggest economy within that region. Then the KCB Group says it launches a new subsidiary, the BPR Bank of Rwanda PLC. Congratulations, folks, for with love from Kenya to Rwanda. Okay, let's talk about the Nigerian space. Flamuse PLC said to announce the completion of that major acquisition, 70.69% equity stake in Honeywell Flamuse PLC, and the acquisition of about 6.05% stake that First Bank of Nigeria has in Flamuse PLC. Combined together, Flamuse of Nigeria PLC now becomes the largest Flamil company in Nigeria with a combined structure that is worth billions of naira. That deal was done at about 4.20 naira per share, and the new name and the whole leadership structure, the whole change is set to be announced. FMN, which is Flaming, says it's gotten all securities exchange and other securities market regulators approval to proceed with that major acquisition, one of the biggest ever in Nigeria's corporate history within the consumer goods space. Dangote Cement, the largest sub-Saharan Africa cement maker, says it's completed its Series 2 bond issue, 116 billion naira out of the total program for about 300 billion. Access Holdco says it's also closed the deal through a private placement, $50 million, 5-year step up green bond, which will be in two categories. About 7.25 will be the step up on that particular yield on that particular placement. Then you got Fitch affirming EcoBank's B- rating, and the outlook is stable. And Henry Nwuzurigbo is now the head of the Zenith Bank Ghana Limited. That's the subsidiary of Zenith Bank of Nigeria, headquartered in Nigeria, but has a whole license within the Ghana's financial market space, the banking industry. Henry is now the new CEO. Congratulations to him. Okay, let's step into the Southern African market. And Moody's says it sees South Africa's inflation at about 8% for this year, above the target of 3.5% by the SARB, which is South African Reserve Bank. Then EOH Holdings is considering the sale after turning to profit, while Zimbabwe's FX reserves or receipts rose about 15.9%, roughly 16% to about $2.4 billion in the first 3 months of this year, while Zambia has signed on electric batteries manufacturing deal with DR Congo. Africa is beginning to see the base metal as a basis, as part of the raw materials commodities that could be used to produce electric batteries. These resources are abundant on the African continent. So instead of just exporting these raw materials, now Zambia and DRC are looking together on how to work it out, electric batteries for electric vehicles and the whole clean energy conversation. Then you've got the AEC, which is the African Energy Chamber, says it's going to launch a hydrogen summit within its Africa Energy Week conference, the hybrid, high-profile conference set to take place in October in Cape Town. Frontier Africa Reports will be on the ground. Hydrogen is a big conversation right now from countries such as Namibia, which is leading that within this western part of the Southern African community. Take me straight to North Africa and begin to wrap up the show this morning. Energy. Egypt says it's going to store carbon dioxide in a deal with Italian Eni, one of the world's largest energy giant. And Morocco's real estate collective investment scheme hits about 22.5 billion dirhams in net balance sheet as at the end of the first quarter. And Mutande says he's posted 40% uptick in revenue to 422 million dirhams between January and the month of March, while Orendu Tunisia is reporting a revenue of $104.3 million for the first quarter. The first quarter numbers are still coming in through across the various jurisdictions. So keep that in mind. We're reporting all of that and more for you between now and the rest of the week. By the way, the week is already short. Tomorrow is Friday. We'll be right back with a fresh edition of your Frontier Opening Bell. This is how your market is closing on this side of the Atlantic. I'll see you next time. I am Bosin Omofa. You can watch this show again online on our Frontier Africa Reports YouTube, also on our website, www.frontierafricareports.com. Then, of course, we are also on all the social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We'd like to hear from you and keep engaging you on the social media platform. I'll see you next time.